Okay. Okay, this 2-minute warning. So if you watch, go now. Before we get started, just want to remind everyone, if you could please put your cell phone on silent. Yes, thank you.
Any
Okay, everyone. Again, just everyone to make sure they've got their cell phones off, please. And I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for coming this evening. We're really excited to share a lot of the benefits of balancing your hormones. And first of all, I'd like to know who came from off the island. Nice. Okay, how about out of the country? Province. Oh, look at this. Wow. Wow. Well, thank you. So before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Tammy Frankfurt. I'm here in Parksville. And I'd like to tell you my story. That's okay. So I started this journey 8.5 months ago, and to be quite honest, I mean, yeah, it looks like great difference, but I didn't actually start for weight loss. I have lost 10 pounds. I had a high stress corporate job, and I took care of all of Canada for a manufacturer. They went bankrupt, so I went from making $200,000 a year to not even getting my holiday pay. So I was depressed and basically couldn't stay awake past 7 o'clock and was just miserable and you know what. And Risha reached out to me and said, oh, I have an opportunity for you. And I'm like, no, I'm all good, right? I don't need money. We also own our own business. in town here, so I had that to go to. So anyways, it was like, you know what, I gotta get some more energy, so fine. And I signed up because I wanted the discount. I'm not being retail. I did not want to do the business. And I went on a boards training with Joni and posted, and in that day one, I think I placed 4 orders and I hit the top ultimate in 10 days. So I wasn't looking for anything, like not meaning to be whatever, but wasn't looking at it for the money. I was strictly for health, and I've always been a healthy person. And I'll tell you, the energy that I have back is what I had years ago. You know, I'm almost 60 and I feel like I'm in my 30s. So I'm sure my husband loves my energy, or not energy. That's not what I meant to say. I'm sure my husband loves my mood stability as well as my staff. And I feed them to my husband too, so my staff is thankful for that. So that's just a little bit quick oversight on my journey. It's been 8 months and I'm at vice president. We've got a great lineup for you. We've got a little bit of a change, hence why I'm up here introducing you all. Is unfortunately, you know our weather here, and Dr. Crystal, Lucy and Katie from corporate, their flight got turned around coming over from Vancouver. So unfortunately, they will not be here this evening. They will be in Victoria though. Yay! So if you want to head up to Victoria, we should have a little announcement to give you a little incentive to go. Next, but we do have some amazing speakers still. So next, I would like to introduce Todd Rowland. I'm sure. Hang on. Oh, is it there? Yeah. Okay. Next, I would like to introduce Todd Rowland. I'm sure any of you that have seen our pictures will have seen pictures of him. Todd was a football coach, was a high school football coach, and he switched about how many years ago to be full-time? 20. So he is chairperson too. He has his master's in nutrition and in kinesiology, and he has come here all the way to Florida to educate you guys on health benefits. So please welcome Todd.
No. It's really getting really cushion.
How about now?
No, we can hear you.
You don't need a mic.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. So who is here for the very first time tonight? This will be your first kind of exposure to what we're about to show you. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. Like half the room. That's all we want. It's always about the new person seeing a way to change their life. And as you look at this tonight, there's going to be a couple of things to see. And you can have an interest in either any or none of them or all of them. You'll see that in 1 second. But just to introduce myself, my wife and I got involved with this industry, not because we wanted to. We got involved with it because I was 15 years into a career with a master's degree coaching football, but I'd also had 4 kids in that time frame. And my wife had quit a job to be a stay-at-home mom, and I found myself in my mid-30s broker than I was when I was a teenager, because when I was a teenager, I didn't have any bills. And when I was an adult with 4 kids, I couldn't buy diapers no more. It was a nightmare. And for me, I just found myself on my knees praying for better. And I was not praying for this package. It got delivered in a really odd package to me. I didn't recognize it when it showed up. But we got involved with it to change our life, physically and financially. But very part-time, like no seriousness to it. I didn't even mandate any time, because I'm probably telling you exactly what you shouldn't do if you have interest in doing well. I worked it when I felt like it. But I still made some money that made a difference in my house. And over the course of about a year, that income became enough that like it was making a difference. We were going out to eat again. We were paying bills on time again. And it made me focus. And during that second year, we got out of debt. and I surpassed my coaching income about fourfold and quit my job and went full time. Now you're about to hear from a guy that did what took me 9 years. He's done in his first 8 months here, so they're way better than me at this. I would have moved the speed of Chris Budd, not the speed of Todd Rowan and Risha. I'd move the speed of Risha and Chris, not Todd. But if you're new tonight, we're going to back up now and show you. By the way, I live in Florida. I love your island. I've never been here before. I've heard about it my whole life. Everybody that's ever been here always tells me how pretty it is. There's only one thing that I've had. I landed on Wednesday night and I have not seen sun yet. That's the only thing I've seen. It's wet. Yeah, coming across on the ferry today, seeing the mountains kind of in the clouds. I mean, like when they told me I was riding the ferry over, I've ridden a lot of ferries, but this wasn't a ferry. This is like a boat. Like, I pulled up, there was like 400 cars, and like 10 boats were loaded up on, and they all went on one boat. I couldn't believe it. Okay, so that being said, as you look at this tonight, there's two things you're going to really three things. I'll briefly mention the third one. But one thing you're going to see tonight is if you're interested, is a way to improve your physical self. And that means a whole bunch of stuff, like better health. Like, I think as we age, we start thinking about longevity as much as we think about anything. Maybe you've got some issues going on, you want to get well, maybe you want to lose weight, everything. Like you're going to see as we go through this tonight. I will tell you, Dr. Crystal is going to train on products tonight. We are going to take a break. If you do want some product training, I'm going to do like 20 minutes, kind of fill in for Dr. Crystal at the end. And if you've got, we'll go through 4, 5, 6 products of your choice and kind of make sure you acknowledge if you want to. The guests, you don't have to stick around unless you want to. And we will take a break before we do that. So Dr. Crystal is going to be here to do that. And she can speak with authority because she was a doctor. If you know much about the medical world, they don't get a lot of nutrition education. So as a doctor, when she developed an autoimmune disease, she did it the doctor's way for 8 years. She developed an autoimmune disease called alopecia. It's the one that makes you lose your hair. The treatment, the main ingredient is called prednisone. Have you tested it before? No, and weight gain is a major side effect. So 8 years the doctor's way was the left picture. 2 years after finding our products was the right picture. She is no longer a doctor. She's still a doctor. She just doesn't have practice anymore. I encourage everybody to get to Victoria tomorrow night to hear her in person. She is spectacular when she speaks. Risha, you're going to hear from at the end tonight. But Risha, I knew Risha like 15 years ago, and I know her today. Like, I never knew her in that picture, so when I saw that picture, I didn't say it out loud. I said to myself, that's Risha. But she went back to the old Risha that I knew 15 years ago, 60 days, Risha.
90 days.
90 days. So 90 days for that. By the way, you don't get overweight in a day. You do it like 5, 6, 7, 8 pounds a year. Like it creeps on you, and then like a decade into not taking care of yourself, you look backwards like 10 times 10 is a lot of weight you gain. She didn't gain that much, but like it happens slowly, and then you look in the mirror like, who is that? I've done it several times in my lifetime. But you can always adjust backwards. The body's going to adjust what you do to it. The second thing you're going to see tonight, you do not have to have interest. We want you to have interest. You don't have to. But you're going to see a way tonight to own a home-based business, normally for $40, but tonight is free. Thanks to Risha booking these meetings, your general manager said we'll give it free all week with all these meetings going on. So tonight, if you have any interest, give it over free. I want to ask Chris Budd. Chris, I was going to give you a statement. We need you on Zoom because we got a lot of people watching that couldn't get here. So this gentleman is a businessman, and he really looked at this more as business than product. But if you don't believe this is a home-based business, he has built a $50,000 a month income from Costa Rica on Facebook and Zoom. This is his first in-person appearance.
A lot can change in 8 months. Do you believe that?
Yes. Yep.
You know, just from doing some posts, like we just think of these posts, what could come of this. But you fast forward a few months down the road, I mean, it's life-changing kind of income. Everything in your life can change. These guys start throwing out $10,000 checks and stuff, man. I mean, treat this like a business and it'll pay you like a business.
Yeah. You're going to hear from Chris again at the end, right before Risha. So Chris is going to expand on how he did that at the end. But we want you to see the big picture before you hear exactly how he did that. We've got any audience audio people in the room?
Check the
Test,
back.
test, test, test. Okay. So how he did that is with tonight free, but he paid us $40 to get his home-based business. And the e-commerce home-based business, internet world now, globally did $6.3 trillion. You can just get a fraction of 0.5% and do pretty well working from home. So again, if you decide on the business, you get everything, you get a little website, everything to do. So I like to call it, men do this very well. However, like the pulse of the company is mom is making money from home. So if you are a mama or a grandmother and you don't want to go to work and leave your kids every day, know this is incredible business. And the third thing that's available is the social aspect. Oh yeah. We're almost weird to normal people because we have really positive outlooks on life, because we make great income with time freedom and we travel the world all the time. I mean, Chris just flew in from Costa Rica, I flew in from Florida, Risha flew in from Mexico. The company gives you 2 free vacations a year to win. All these guys have already won their vacations. We'll all be in Punta Cana in like 30 days together. Like, you can do it, it's not hard. Like, the next 6 months, win your next free trip. We're going on another trip to Bali in June together. Last year we went to the French Polynesian Islands. Like, if you would like to travel the world on somebody else's dollar with a bunch of people you like, this is the spot for you. Okay, now, so you got 3 things to look at tonight. Stuff for your health, a business to change your finances that costs nothing up front, no downside risk. You have to commit the time that you got, and a chance to be around a lot of positive people in your life and travel the world. That's your 3 things you're looking at. The name of the company is called Partner.co. And if you like to investigate, we're that way everywhere. It's not com, it's co, and it's YouTube, social media, online, you name it. We are a global business. So when you pay that $40, you can be in Vancouver Island. They will tell you yesterday that we had a group of people from China with a lady there that has made as much as $100,000 a week in our company. She lives in Vancouver, her business is in China. So literally, on your little $40 business, by clicking a flag. So how many countries is your business in now, Chris?
22.
So from Costa Rica, he's in 22 countries. I wish you knew how many of those people before it started. Maybe 3?
Yeah.
He didn't even know the people. He knew people that knew people that knew people. And all of a sudden, he's got a global business. You don't have to think, who do you know? It's like, who do you know that might know somebody? I will tell you, we all know in this industry that you're in the most magical spot in North America, because like Western Canada is so culturally diverse. You've got like so many different things, like you can go around the world here from your own community. All right, so what do? The company has 100 products, and they are all incredible. We'll train specifically on them in a little bit. I'm just going to tell you we've got things for inflammation that are, in my opinion, as a nutritionist, the best I've ever seen for athletic performance, for weight loss. Our best-selling product that is absolutely going crazy around the world, balances women's hormones and helps men and women lose weight, and it works. It's just the craziest thing you've ever seen. They're all third-party tested. We have a huge R&D team around the world. They're all doctor-created. They have so much third-party research behind them that down in the States, they're in what's called the physician desk reference. It's just like Canada. The doctors really don't want nutritional products in their book. It's almost impossible to get them there. They have to go through so much testing. It's crazy. So there's very few nutritional products in that book in our country. We have 6 in it. We try to get the best raw materials in the world. We literally source from about 40 different countries. We test it when it comes in. We call it farm to pharmaceutical. Again, there's by the way, a footnote for those of you in the business, this product will be on the ground here in less than 60 days. If we're that means it doesn't have to go to the United States anymore. It will be right here shipping Canada within Canada. So here's an example. Dr. Alberto Pena is one of the top gastroenterologists in the world. He's based out, he has 2 offices, one in the west coast of Mexico, another one in Mexico City. And in Mexico, they're a little different than the United States and Canada. They have a little more leeway to integrate nutritional products into their treatments. So it is, if you don't know what a gastroenterologist does, they deal with diverticulitis, colitis, bronchitis, all the issues. He developed this probiotic in his practice and found out that a lot of his patients started getting way better. And someone went in remission. And he launched it with our company a few years back. And I call it anecdotal stories, meaning I make no medical claims. Like we just see this though, that when people give their body what it needs, sometimes it can auto-correct a bit. And I've seen that movie out here with that product. That is our top doctor. Although there's a new one coming soon out of Harvard to join us. That'll be announced in May. But for now, he is our top doctor. He's 80 right now. So this guy right here wrote a book called What Your Doctor Doesn't Know About Nutrition. That they've been killing it. Sold 35 million copies. But I will tell you, I'm going to lead into the one product I'm going to mention in the presentation tonight here. Here's where the product you're about to see came from. There is an epidemic going on around the world. It's called a lot of names. Some people call it insulin insensitivity. Some people call it metabolic dysfunction. Some people call it metabolic syndrome. You've never heard of it. What it is elevated blood sugar before they call you a pre-diabetic. 80% of the world walks around with it now. It's everywhere. And if you haven't, go do your own research. This is not our information. It's not my information. Go look at all the doctors are saying. Your risk factors for cardiovascular cancer and all the things we don't be diagnosed with, depending on which doctor you talk to, is 10 to 25-fold higher than if you don't have that elevated blood sugar. It's the most important thing we can take care of. And if you can stabilize your blood sugar and your insulin, guess what the side effect is? Weight loss. So here is the product that is going crazy around the world. We call it Body Balance and Drops. There's 2 bottles. One is clear, goes underneath the tongue 3 times a day. We'll go into all the scientific part after the meeting if anybody wants it. But the first bottle has got ingredients in there that are going to help you control your appetite. I get asked all the time. You're about to see our approved food list. I get asked, can you lose weight? You don't take the drops and eat exactly from that. I was like, yes. Why haven't you already? The answer is I've got my master's in nutrition and it does me 0 good. Here's why. Knowledge is worthless without discipline. I have 4 kids. They love pizza. They love eating out. They love Chick-fil-A. And if I'm not on my drops, I have to make a disciplined decision because it smells really good to me. I like that. If I'm on the drops, I don't even want it. It's like it just takes it away. I can care less. Krista's dad, Bob Budd, everybody knows it. Like he posted a picture yesterday, and he's like he had freaking abs. I've known him for 20 years. He's always had this been abs. Oh, he's listening. He is transformed like nobody I've ever seen. You're going to see his picture in just a second. But it's going to do a lot of things to help stabilize blood sugar. It's going to give you thyroid support, hormonal support. The other bottle is full of really great ingredients that really stimulate metabolism, energy, and it really helps with mood, anxiety. Even we've had a lot of anecdotal stories with depression and stuff. Women get, especially the women, get way better very quickly. So you start taking them 3 times a day, and then it comes with a direction booklet. I encourage you to read it and follow it. It will speed up the process. We didn't come up with the science. It's everywhere. It's called the Low Glycemic Food Index. You can Google it. It was written by the #1 type 2 diabetic doctor in the world about 35 years ago. Every diet that's ever worked has had to follow this. The paleo, the keto, the whole foods. I always say, don't look how they brand it. Look at what everyone has to eliminate. They all eliminate the same thing. The simple sugars and the simple carbs. They've got to go away or your body can't lose weight. You're going to be spiked insulin all the time. I also call this the food that God made, and the animals eat the food that God made. This is real food. Now, in today's world, some people don't think it is, but it is. It's real food. Or manifestation. Eat as much as you want. We don't count calories. If you don't mind cooking, you can have brownies, you can have cookies, and you can have spaghetti. You just got to use our recipes. We'll make little subtle changes like changing regular flour to almond flour, and it makes all the difference in the world. Matter of fact, I do a lot of home parties, by the way. The ladies just did this party here that I was just at, like 40 of them there. That food was delicious, and you can really cook healthy and be good. You just got to get used to it.
Everything was on point.
I know, I noticed that. It's the first thing I look at when I go to these home parties. Down in the States, they have mastered this brownie thing down there. Some do it with black beans, some do it with sweet potatoes. But I don't even want the real brownies anymore. They're so much better when you can help them. But I will say 40% of our customer base now does not use the drops for weight loss. It is that 30 to 55-year-old woman bracket that are dealing with some different changes going on in their body. I call it middle age. My wife slaps me and says, women in their prime. So all the women that are in their prime, this really helps you a lot. As a matter of fact, I've known Joni for a long time and I've never seen her need to lose weight. And she will tell you that like mood is just better. Like she just feels better. And Chris, you're not on camera. I'll see everybody looking, shaking his head. Hey, funny quick story. I'll get finished with this. By the way, there's Chris's dad. I was mentioning with the flat stomach now. That's the Bob I knew. That's the Bob today. And how old is your dad?
70 on Wednesday.
Wow, pretty amazing. So here's the funny story. Down in the States, like women will run out of their drops. They're not in the business, they're just customers. They're just buying, they don't want to do the business. And the husband will call. You're the one that's got those drops. So I thought it was a States thing, but then we came up here on this Alberta tour, and I was with a group over there, and every meeting I went to, I swear, there was either the person that was selling or a guy that came up to me had done the same thing up here. The men go chasing them down and the wife comes out. So although I said that's my mid-40s, and I'm about to be 55, not long from now, so it totally transformed my wife and I. She's about to be 54. There's Bob, and that's his wife, Lynn, and you can see her transformation. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the room. If I call on you, if you can keep it like 8 to 10 second range, so we can get through this, like get our main speakers up to close this out. But Christy's over in Alberta. She saw. I'll tell her story for her. I think it's a neat one. She saw a post that Chris's wife made. She called to get them. She paid $200 Canadian for it. She went to bed and she said, "I wonder what she just made when I bought that box of drops." Christy told her. Joni told her. She said, "Well, put me in." She went to $10,000 a month in 4 months. Shut down her home cleaning business, and now she's a mama and a home-based business owner. And then Carmen's with us. Would you mind sharing your story, Carmen? You can do it. You look back there. I'll just spin this around for you.
Speak loud. So apparently I was signed up when I saw Chris's post a year ago. But I saw Chris and Joey, because I've known them for many years, another company actually met years ago. And I saw their post, and I really, I didn't see the value in the pictures at first. I thought they were kind of, to be honest, pretty. And so then I started seeing Christy Walsh posting. I know Christy also. And so I saw her before and after pictures that she's posting, and they're much like Chris and Billy Bud's pictures they were posting. And so then all of a sudden she posts one day, and I happened to see it, and I'm sure that was happening for me, right? To see she posted this picture of her actual, the one that you saw, her transformation, where she lost 42 pounds. So meanwhile, my health turns to crap last year. So in June, all of a sudden, I just felt like I'm 54. So apparently everything, all the stress and all that stuff, that cortisol, high hormones, all that stuff, like I've never had issues with my weight until last year. And all of a sudden I just came on like about 25, 30 pounds, and I could just walk by a mirror and just see myself grow. So I was like, this is scaring me. I know supplements, I was taking all kinds of stuff, nothing was working. And I was actually getting scared because I actually felt I had lead in my legs. I thought it was just, my body was, it was just not like myself, So anyways, meanwhile, I did sign up last August and had these drops, but I gave them to my daughter. I didn't think anything of these drops. Why? And then Todd came to Kelowna, and I will say I wasn't going to go to the meeting like this one, but I went late, and I walked in because Christy asked me to, and I thought I should just go and say hello, right? I walk in, and there's all these people that I kind of have known over the years, but half of them are missing. And it wasn't about the weight, it was their glow. They were glowing, they looked healthy, and they were smiling. And you know what? I really wasn't that glowing and happy, so they had something that I felt I needed. So anyways, I went back home and I called a few friends in the middle of December, and I said, I think we should look at this company. So we all got on Zoom. I had no idea if I was going to do it yet or not. But anyways, I had a come to Jesus moment, and January 3rd, I posted my first poster pictures of me. I posted my first post, the one that felt corny. And I never got my drops until January 10th. So I'm just ending my third month, and I'm down about 12 pounds. So I'm getting there. Not back where I was, but I'm getting there. I feel way better, sleeping good. Everything is coming back together. So I'm just excited. Now, the reason why I also got excited is Christy Walsh. She's never made, I know her. She was in one of my other businesses years and years ago. And I mean, she was just amazing. She showed every week, but she never made money. So when I found out she was making $10,000 a month, I'm like, okay, like I'm in, like, I mean, obviously, right? So when I did my first post January 3rd, I'll just tell you all, I've had way over 200 people I've announced right now, just since then, join my business, and that's not including customers. I mean, I've been in this industry for a while. Because of these posts and because of the need, we have a solution, right? So I just want to say, like, what you see here tonight, like, this is probably the best thing I've ever seen since sliced bread. Yes.
Real quick, and you'll close at the end of the business side.
Fat lady, not I had serious always in my fingers and toes, because we gotta be careful with the words we choose in the public presentation, right? And my lower back. We have a product here called MOA. After 3 weeks, I noticed probably a 40% improvement. And after 6 weeks, 100% improvement. I walked the dog with my puppies and I feel amazing. And then I realized that spike going up my heels, it's called punch special or something like that. Was really, really painful for me, and I couldn't get rid of it for anything. And the same thing in the MOA, the drops, and the NOMI. Those were the 3 products, and now I am, holy heck, almost 70. And I don't even have hangnails to talk about tonight.
Sorry. Okay, so Risha were the host, they took their time, but everybody else was put forward. We're gonna just kind of shotgun this now, kind of like 8 to 10 seconds. We'll start here with James. Tell us your story real quick, 8 seconds.
All right, yeah, I've lost 36 pounds, no, 35 pounds now in 36 days.
30 what, in 36 days?
36 days, yeah.
So our clinical study came out at men are gonna lose 3/4 of a pound a day, women will lose a 1/2 pound a day, our clinical study. Life is not fair, women, it's just the way it works. And then Sharon.
Stand up.
There you go, Sharon.
Stand up.
So yeah, I'm down 52 pounds now and over 40 inches in my midsection. And I've been doing it since July, end of June.
Wow, congrats. That does not look like you. And now we got Donna.
I lost 26 pounds. I got my husband on the drugs. He loves them. We both have lots of energy and no pain. Awesome.
Cheryl Cook. Oh, there you are, the wife.
I got caught in that maelstrom.
Stand up,
so I
stand
had
up,
to
stand up.
stand up. I didn't get my drops until January 6th, when I lost 31 pounds.
That is crazy good for a woman. It's really good when a husband and wife do it together because it makes the cooking and food preparation easy. Valerie.
42 pounds in the first 3 months of the drops, and obviously the before picture was horrendous. I didn't want to do it, but I did it hiding in my bathroom. And I do recommend, even if you're not gonna share it with anybody, take that before picture because it made all the difference in the world to keep me motivated. Because once I got an after picture after 1 month and saw that it dropped in all the right places, that was motivation. I just kept going, and I no regrets. That was 8 years ago.
Cindy.
Yeah, I'm Cindy Greenwood, I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, and I have lost 85 pounds to date. I started it 4 years ago, so I kept it off. And I had, 10 years it took me to get to that first picture. But yeah, depression, anxiety, stress, all the bad things, and not that we cure, treat, or heal anything, but I'm a much happier person, my husband can attest to. I also have a ton of crochet, just like Lisa did, and this is the only, I was elite at the drops, and that's what did it for me. So happy, being free, and living life.
Some people on Friday that Risha had in a group together, just kind of informal, got to hear the whole story, and the husband is much happier. Lori.
Hi, I'm Lori. I'm from Victoria. I started the drops third week of October. I'm currently down 18 pounds and 15 inches. Just after, the first thing I noticed in the 2 weeks after taking the drops was I had like this enormous increase in energy. I couldn't sit anymore, and my focus and my concentration came back. It was like wow. I sat down and watched TV, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna go do something else. So the energy was a big one for me, and with the Renew, I get such a deep restorative sleep. So the combination of those two is great.
Funny story. Where's Charlene at? That's what I just met Charlene for the first time. She gave me a before picture, and I said, "That's you." I didn't mean that in a bad way, but she is totally transformed since that before picture.
I started the drop in October, and I didn't do it for weight loss, but I knew I could lose about 5 to 10 pounds. That would be a great side effect. And I did it for my thyroid and my hormones, just to get everything balanced. And I couldn't believe the energy, just like it said over there. It was like incredible. I don't sit down and watch TV. I have horses, and I'm out and I'm shoveling manure and doing my farm chores, and the stress level has come down, and my sleep was better, and I did take the Renew as well, so that'll help with the drops and MOA, and I've never felt this good since probably my late 20s, early 30s, and I'm 58, so feeling really good and down 7 pounds, so.
Shauna.
So I'm from Vancouver Island, but right now I'm hanging out in Alberta with my mom. I started in July. I lost 30 pounds-ish, in around 30 pounds, in the first 4 months. Since then I have maintained, but I have been traveling extensively. So it's kind of really a good testament to the drops that you can go on vacation, you can travel, you can eat different things and still maintain. And even though I've maintained the weight, I've still continued to lose inches. I'm down, I was originally at 16 to 18 and 12 now. Yeah. I was a double extra large, and then now I'm medium to large. Woo! Yay!
Chris.
I started because Shauna put a post up, and I was at my wit's end. I was exhausted, felt crappy last July. I've lost 38 pounds, but for me, in all honesty, the biggest difference is my energy, loss of inflammation and pain in my knees, loss of brain fog. I kind of went, where have I been for the last decade? All of a sudden, everything's clear, and love everything with it.
So Jana's up in northern Alberta. Penny.
Charlene. Yeah, that was just me. So Charlene, I saw her posts, and I was not in a spot in my life that I could do anything about it until I got to her. She showed me how easy it was, and I desperately needed it. I had been off work for a few months and was suffering from weight gain, anxiety, depression, like couldn't sleep, all that kind of stuff. Brought my husband on it, and we started at the end of November, and we started December, beginning of December. And that is tough to start in the holiday season. So a lot of people, when I started posting, they were interested, but they wanted to wait until New Year's. And I'm like, no, don't wait, don't start now. And yes, definitely, we've lost weight. I've lost 20 pounds. He's lost like 28 pounds. He's Renew. We don't go to bed without it. If you want, you can sleep 10 hours, like if you let yourself, just like it's great. And energy coming home from work. He works, he's a truck driver, he works for 12-hour shifts, he comes home to vacuum. We both have, we've got a chaotic life. Just work with dogs, kids, we have grandchild on the way. So yeah, it's like everything that everyone else said that we have, and we love it. And yeah, good for you, Tammy.
This is a bodybuilder that was over in Vancouver yesterday, and he just said no matter how hard he worked out, he could not get rid of his belly, and it just completely shrunk his belly when he got on the drops. Brenda, By the way, that was done in like 30 days. That's right, Carmen? 30 days, 20 pounds. And share this one real quick.
Glenn, he's in a wheelchair, so he just said it's real easy to put on weight when you're in a wheelchair, but it's impossible to take it off in a wheelchair. So he's down 27 pounds today.
All these are in Canada. This is a straight Canadian PowerPoint. All right, as we come to the end.
Let's hear from Charlene Foster.
Okay. Oh, yes. Let me introduce you. Like, everybody inspires me, but this lady is worth my whole trip. She is full of energy. At 79 years old, this lady hopped on a plane from almost to Alaska. Y'all know the town. I don't know the town. It's called almost to Alaska. And flew all the way down here, 600 miles to be with us here.
I fell about November the 5th. I see these girls, I've known them since they were 5 years old. They're close, they're distant relatives. I phoned them up. I said, what the heck are you doing? Because I was gonna have to move off my property at Lake House Lake, between Terrace and Canada. It's 5 acres. I've lived there alone for the last 21 years. And my son said, if you fall again, you're out. Well, I'm walking with a cane right now because I'm away from home. I'm nervous about everything. But now I can walk around the house without my cane. I drive my car. I have no problems at all. And I tell you, it's given me enough new leaves on life again. And I'm going to get this girl traveling with me again. Gotta try it. That's all I have.
In the car with her from Richmond to the ferry, and all on the ferry to here. Well, we gotta get Daniel, we gotta get Russ, we gotta get Kevin, and what about Mary? And we gotta get Russ. She's building a huge business. Wow.
Okay, so we just launched 2 new products this year, and they're really effective for a couple reasons. The drops are a great start, but the low glycemic food index is built under a simple rule. A gram of fiber erases a gram of sugar. I ate 20 grams of sugar and take 20 grams of fiber. The spike of the blood sugar in the blood is really nominal. So we just launched one of the best fiber products on planet Earth. Let me get this back over here. So I never condone cheating. I always tell anybody that wants to transform their life, anybody can do anything for 90 days. If you go all in for 90 days, you will not know yourself in 90 days. Man, female, issues going on in your body, just try it if you don't believe me. That's generally with anything in life, but for sure with this. But I will tell you, anybody, but especially the athletes, may want to add our product we just launched about 30 days ago. It's what's called a thermogenic. And what it will do is speed your resting metabolism up. You'll burn a whole lot more calories while you're sitting still. Good clarity, good energy, really good. And I've just found out for myself, I just realized a minute ago I have still not eaten today. Well, part of that's because I haven't had a break, but the other part is I haven't been hungry. But when those two are combined together, I literally have to go make myself eat sometimes because I forget about it. Anybody else had that effect on you yet? Oh, wow. So these are our athletes that take this. They're really big on the advantage skinny drop to get their stomachs ripped up. So I know this girl.
Okay, I want that.
Yeah. You probably won't get that from product alone. This is the workout thing. She's one of the top CrossFitters in South Florida. She played college soccer, and I hadn't seen her in years. I messaged her on Instagram one morning, and I said, hey, I think I got a business you could kill with all your Instagram posts. She said, I want to hear it. And this is the product she fell in love with. Like, this is the one that has really exploded in her little market down there in her age group in Florida. All right, that being said, coming to the end. If you're here and you're product minded and you have no interest in the business, you can just buy the product. Simple explanation of what we do. We all own virtual nutrition stores, and we work like any other store on planet Earth. We buy wholesale and we sell retail and we keep the difference. Or you can pay $29.95 US, $37.95 Canada, and buy a business and get a discount. So here's what I said yesterday. I was like, well, that sounds good. Like, for free, you can get a discount. Tonight, for free, you get a discount. All right, get in the business. Be able to you what work you do. All right, so for free, you get in, you get your back office, now you can order for yourself at a discount. You do have to qualify your business though, which gives you an even steeper discount. When you get in, you're gonna get a 30% discount. But if you buy it in bulk a little bit, it almost becomes almost half what it really costs retail. So the startup here in Canada, if you want to get started, what's called the activated pack is 200 points. But we do want everybody that has interest in the business to get to our top pay, which is called Ultimate, which just means you're going to share some skinny drops with other people or buy a few extra products yourself. You're going to get there. All your leaders will tell you how to do that. But here's the system to do it with. If you are interested in this, most people are not going to get to their resting spot the first month. Okay, you didn't get to where you are today in a month, right now I'll get back to where you want to be in a month. So worst case scenario, you buy a 4-pack for $465 plus shipping and tax, and you got a 4-month supply, you're off the races. We just met some people got off the ferry, and there was a couple, they bought it thinking they might not sell, but at least they got 2 months apiece. But here's the genius of it. Why not get everything for free? If you sell 3 at 200 Canadian dollars, which is our retail price, yours is free, and you actually turn a profit. Like you got to be like me, you got to be a government employee not to get that. Like that's what I was the first 13 years of life. I had to learn all this unwinding of like it makes sense to get. And also women. Does any woman ever bought something to save their husband money on a sale? This is the way to do it. All right, now here's the deal. Because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that how am I going to sell? I don't have a story yet. This is the genius. This is what Chris and Joni and Risha and everybody's created for you. They've done it all Canadian styles, just for your country. There's a third-party app you can download for free. It's called Board. So download it. They will upload the system they've created onto your phone. That system is going to give you all each other's pictures. Like these are not company pictures, these are us. You'll know it when you read it. Like you'll see they're not all doctored up, they're not fancy. The writing probably has some misspelling in it. But it is the pictures and posts that have been collected. There's now thousands of them out there around the world, tens of thousands around the world. But if you're willing to post twice a day, we give you the post, give you what to write. But here's the crazy part. When they start asking you questions, we give you all the answers. And this app connects to your text thread and your messenger and your Instagram. You just got to spend 30 minutes with whoever you decide to do this with. Let them show you how it connects. And literally, if you don't have any time in your life, you can take a Sunday afternoon, 20 minutes, schedule your post for the week. And about 5 minutes a day, you can answer 25 people's questions. Boom, 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 boom. You don't have to copy and paste. It does it all for you. You'll know that when you work with this. The most genius thing I've ever seen. The last piece of the puzzle is if you, like, that's retail money, but it's still trading time for money. What we all do in the job. Don't be selfish. That to create wealth, you got to have leverage. Leverage money or leverage people. Every business owner leverages their employees. You work, they pay you, but they make money on your time. A business owner makes money on all his employees' time. So I always tell everybody, take this what it's worth. There is no in between. You either are leveraging people or you are being leveraged. There is no middle ground. So you just have to ask yourself where you are. But I will tell you the wealth creation occurs when you create the leverage. So we want to build a team of wholesalers around the world where they're making their retail profit and you're getting these little small override commissions on it all the time. And the company's going to pay you 9 different ways. We're not going to go into the paper tonight, but we have it on recording. You can watch it if you're interested. But you'll see, you'll start getting extra $10,000 paychecks. You'll start winning free vacations around the world. And then we'll all these people were, if you're guests tonight, every one of these people right here were sitting in your chair at some point. And now all of a sudden they're 30 to 100. As a matter of fact, at the meeting earlier, we zoomed this lady in, who's down 118 pounds, came off a $1,000 a month disability. She's been on it for 50 years. And now this year she's going to be right at $500,000 in income with us. Only place on planet Earth you can do that with. There is your growth. Canada did not exist in our company a year ago. We had some people that were making money, but most of them were building in Europe or China. Canada just came to life. You're now moving so fast up here. They took our very best general manager in the world, 36 years experience, took her out of Asia and moved her to Canada. You'll meet her. She was supposed to be here tonight, but they couldn't land the plane, so she will be there tomorrow night. I encourage you to go meet her. She is freaking unbelievable. She is a problem solver. She's determined to make all the -- market. She wants to blow the United States off the map. And on getting you guys all the products on the ground, but every time you bring products into either, so your drops will be coming from Europe in May. But what they're trying to do, and this is going to be about a 6 to 12 month time frame, they're going to get your drops manufactured and all the products manufactured within Canada over the next 18 months.
Okay.
It's just really hard. Canada Health, the master statement just goes. So that is already well underway, but we're really stringent. We test raw ingredients coming in, we test your manufacturing and after, a lot of specs, so it's just hard to find the right one and get the contract signed. But that is in process already because of all you guys. All right, now we're going to bring up two last people to close this out. And I want to say this about Risha before I bring up Chris, if I won't speak again. But Risha blows me away. Like, this lady is dynamite. Like, she works all the time. She manages a resort. She lays in the sun. Every time I FaceTime her, she's at the beach zooming. Who would like to work all day at the beach zooming all day?
Yeah.
But she built a way north of $10,000 a month income from the beach in Western Mexico. I mean, who wants to do that besides her? Like, wouldn't that be a nice thing to do? A lot of this group tonight is in her business. Use her. I always say, when you've got somebody as good as her, I'm from the Southern United States, I say, work them like a wet mule. That means like, she's your full-time employee for free. Put her to work helping you. But now going back, because she's going to come up and close this in just a second. Now going back to Chris and Joni, who are going to come up before she comes up. Chris and Joni have set a new standard with our company. They moved in 1 year to the number 3 ranking in the entire world. World. Now, China, Japan, Japan. Also in my business, Susan Frank in North Carolina and Susan Cameron. They literally are paranoid. I get a text from them now every 3 hours, like, how's it going?
And did you say the drops are not even available in Costco?
Yeah. Here's the crazy part. Chris and Johnny were at $15,000 a month before we ever figure out how to get product to them. Because they can't get into Costa Rica yet. So like you can do the bit. I say you can be interested in all three. Good to do physical too while you're doing it, but like there's a lot of nutrition stores. I guarantee you a person who's a nutrition store doesn't have every product in the store, but the fact that you still meet a lot of people's needs that have it. So like you don't have to have a story to meet somebody else's need. You got to believe, like, you don't need your testimony. You just heard this whole room. This one's got testimony. Like, use theirs. That's what we created the boards for. But Chris and Johnny are all of y'all's upline, pretty much. And there's a few scattered ones in the room, but pretty much this group tonight are through them in Costa Rica. So Chris flew all the way from Costa Rica, which is not an easy trip. They're not even here from Florida. But Costa Rica complicates things even more. But thank all of you here for tonight. Come on up, Chris. Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Ilana. All right. Our journey has been simple, and if you're taking notes, write this down because it's exactly what happened. It's not because we were networking gurus or had a team to follow us. We literally did this from scratch. I promise you every bit of it. So here's how it happened. They showed us how to download boards. Write that down. They showed us how to copy and paste posts on Facebook. Okay, that's what we did. Now, Joni sat down 47 minutes. She scheduled 60 posts. That's 30 days of posts at 9 and 3. Those posts went out every day at 9 and 3. People contacted her, asked her for information. She sent it from the boards app, copied and pasted. And 50 people bought drops. I continued at the same time to do some posts that I thought were more clever. Yes, right? I didn't sell 50 boxes. I only sold 40 boxes. The point is that people were all over it. Now people started to contact us. There were some that we did reach out to. I remember Risha, I couldn't see for sure, but I think she rolled her eyes when she answered the phone. What are we looking at this time, Chris? But people would reach out to us from the posts and they would ask if they could get started too. And so, you know, then you got to show them a little bit of information, but we got videos that do that. And so we'd send them the videos and then they joined. And it wasn't free. They had to save about $40 or $30 in the US. But they got started and they placed an order. But then we sat with them, well, on Zoom. We sat with them and we helped them get boards downloaded on their phone. And then we helped them to go into boards and then copy and paste posts. And then schedule them 60 posts over 30 days. Guess what happened for them? They started selling 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 boxes. People were loving it. And then we started to get stories happening all across the country. Anyway, it went far beyond what we ever could have imagined. And we did it by simply following the system. I know we all have our old ways of doing things and, you know, our past success stories, but what I was looking for, being somebody in Costa Rica, you know, can't work there being Canadian, right? We had nothing else to do there. We just had some investments go south on us at the time that this came along. So it was an absolute gift from God that this came along our path. There's no two ways about that. And he's literally put all of this together for us. It takes faith. If you want to go all the way, you want to make big money, you want to, you know, make this something that changes your life. You got to have some faith. Follow the system. Trust your sponsor. Trust your upline. Do the posts. Use social media to harness the power of social media to build your business, and you'll find months down the road your life has literally changed. Beyond some of the physical things that we see here tonight, some of the financial stories that I've seen for people who've never made money in the industry before, who are making great money, the kind that they never dreamed of. Even in selling product. That's all we were interested in. From Costa Rica, we didn't think we could build a business. We certainly do after the last 5 things we've done. Probably no one was going to follow us, but literally through the system, it just happened for us. So use it, follow it, teach it, and watch your business grow. Our business is 22 countries, I think now. Last I checked, like 2,500 people on the team. People making more money than they've ever made before, if they ever worked with us before. So, but it's just so special to meet you guys. I met so many people on our team for the first time here today. It's colder than I'm used to, but it's beautiful on the side.
That's why you got your coat on.
I was wearing a beanie earlier, but I thought maybe that was inappropriate. Anyway, thank you all for being here. And can I introduce Risha? Okay. We've known Risha for a lot of years. Never got to personally work with her. She worked with my father before in different businesses. I always thought, man, if I could work with her, that would be amazing. You know, she would just absolutely destroy this business. So I called her, and I feel like she might have rolled her eyes. She might not have been anxious to look at something else. But I know Risha, if she gets it, then she is going to run, and she's going to run farther and faster than anybody can. So I was just so pumped that she would take the time to look. We spent some time on Zoom, probably a whole hour, right? I don't usually spend that much time on Zoom, but we did that. Answered all of her questions, or at least maybe half of them. And she decided to join us that day. And man, the rest is history. She's just exploded her business. Again, from Mexico. She's not here running around doing meetings and things. She's teaching and empowering a team of people to go out and do what she's done. So please help me welcome Risha.
Okay, let's get what's up here, give me a face.
Oh, you lost your knob.
I lost my knob. Can I do it without my knob? Oh, God. Okay, chest, does that work?
Yeah. So what do you think about Chris Butt? You know, in the beginning, every single time I call them, they were at the country club. And Joni would say, the internet isn't so good here, I'll call you back. You know, like 2 days later, right? Yeah, it was great. What do you think of Todd Rowland? You're gonna hear my story, right? But first, I think we need a state change here. My jacket is a little funny. Does that work better?
Yeah.
How's the costume lady? Deb? Okay, everybody up. Yeah. Shout after me. I'm alive. I'm alive. I feel great. I feel great. And now you got to shake your hands up in the air with your fingers and you go, I love my life. Lastly, all miracles, large and small. All miracles, large and small. Bring them on, God. Ready to receive them all. What a great crowd. Okay, here we are. You saw the Here's Me Fat. That picture was actually taken at our going away party in Souk with my new husband, Mike, for those of you that haven't met him yet.
As a matter of fact, all that posting that Chris was talking about, my friends didn't even know I had a boyfriend. And then Kellyanne posted a picture at my wedding and tagged me, and people are going, who's this guy? Well, yeah, he's my husband, he's a great guy, he's a former Victoria PD policeman. And that's what I look like, because Mike and I both really love ice cream. And potatoes and gravy and steak and ribs and gooey food, and that's what happened. Right, Todd? What is it, 3-4 pounds a year? 10 years, 50 pounds, there you got it. That's the formula, right? So here we are. I looked at that. That picture was just actually sent to me about 3 weeks ago from Connie from Salt Spring Island, who was at my party and going through her phone pics, and sent it to me. I was horrified when I saw that picture, because I don't remember looking like that. I don't think I looked in the mirror at all any of those days when I would look that. I looked like that. Wow, holy cow. But anyways, as we go forward, Mike and I, we bought our dream home. This is Casa 700 Mangoes. It's a really weird name for a resort. And if you want to learn the whole story, you're just going to have to come rent a villa, and I'll have you in for dinner and I'll tell you the story. So this is Villa Jenny, Villa Rosa Maria, and Villa Margarita are the other two for me. And it sounds exotic, right? Anybody own a house in the tropics? Been to a house in the tropics? Thought about being in a house in the tropics? Okay. It's everything you thought it would be, and so much more. It's humidity, it's the termites, it's the concrete rotting away, a special word called salitre that drips off the walls. And then the rebar starts to show. Then the rebar starts to rot. And that's another problem, right? It's pool pumps at seas. It's garage door openers that break down. It's doorknobs that fall off. And that's what happened. We saw this beautiful property in January 2023. We closed from Canada in July, and we moved in October. That house did not have people living in it for months. That beautiful swimming pool was green, covered in algae. This neighboring property had overgrown the entire pool deck floor. The pool pump had seized. Every single of these lights here had broken, and the electrician took every one apart, and there was a spider's nest in one and rotting wires, you know, right, Judy? You know. It was amazing what had happened to our beautiful dream home. So we had a little nest egg, and that little nest egg went by in 6 weeks in a freight of tradesmen that came through, and the most fabulous experience for me was, guess what? Tornillo. That's a Spanish word for screw. Because I learned all the concrete and the carpenter words that you can possibly imagine in Spanish. It was a very expensive education. And then I went to the notary and said, why am I not getting the title to this property? And she says, because your lawyer didn't pay the closing costs. $23,000 disappeared. So we had to find another $23,000, because wouldn't you agree that having a title to your land would be a good thing? Yeah. So 2 days later, I had shingles all over my body. You remember that day? Yeah. Stress. And then I got a UTI that wouldn't go away. It just came in. Stress is a real bugger. It's a real devil. Then I got 2 dog bites. I was in a bad way. It was our dream home. And I finally went to Dr. Tom, and I said, Dr. Tom, this is like pretty serious here. He diagnosed me with FFB. Any doctors in the house? Nurses in the house? Anybody know what FFB is? Ever been diagnosed with FFB? Yeah.
Fat, frumpy, and broke.
Fat, frumpy, and broke. That's what I was. It was a serious case. And I went, oh my God. And then that magic day came, and Chris and Joni gave me a call. And no, Chris, I didn't roll my eyes at all. I was like, oh my God, this could be the answer to my prayers. My first thought was, I need these drops. My second thought was, I cannot afford these drops. And my third thought was, how can I afford it? So I recently had a full-on car crash.
So I took money from the massage budget and I bought 2 boxes. Remember that, Chris? And then I didn't know anything about this ultimate thing, or I didn't understand it. You guys didn't understand, we all do. And so I went and I continued to paint the pool deck because I thought I was going away for the summer back to Canada to help sell our boat. So then Chris donated, oh, you gotta get Ultimate in 4 days, which is the top pay of our program. We're gonna talk about Ultimate, right? Okay, so I scrambled and scrambled and got to Ultimate in like 4 days or something. And then, oh yeah, in the meantime, I posted. Right. Remember I don't post? I didn't put my boyfriend pictures up, never mind my wedding pictures. Okay. So I put my first post up of Kim Gray, the lady that Todd put on live. Wasn't it amazing? Live TV today with Kim Gray talking as well. And I got 19 comments. My second post, I got 7 comments. In my third post, I held up a box of drops with 2 bottles in my hand and said, yay, my drops have arrived. I'm 171 on target to my goal weight. 59 comments. Out of that, I sold 20 boxes and 6 new brand partners. Wow. I've been in the industry for 24 years and never been in an industry. Hey, Chris?
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing?
Get paid every week.
It is, I think this is the unicorn. This is God's way of saying you've worked so hard and so many other things in your life. It's time that we reward you with something amazing that can change people's lives. So I'm going to fast forward in how my life is so majorly changed. Well, you heard my health testimony, right? I've lost 34 pounds. I think I keep losing because my clothes just keep getting thinner. It's like crazy. I just bought skinny jeans. I haven't, you're buying skinny jeans, Sharon. I haven't bought skinny jeans. I don't even think they had skinny jeans when I was 30 years old. Did they? No, they didn't. It was amazing. I have no pain. I feel amazing. My husband is now on the drops. He's a happy guy now, which is really fun. And I'm going to tell you about my love affair with that fridge. Because I had one before that froze everything. Everything. Isn't that awful to throw away good food? And I've got this beautiful fridge, and I've got a beautiful maid. Her name is Sarah. I love her, I love her, I love her. We now have a gardener, and we now have a pool boy. And no, he's not Julio. But I'm not saying this to impress you, but impress upon you that only a short time earlier, I was so broke, I couldn't buy more than 2 boxes. Right? That's how broke we were. I love that. I love it. And my house, as in Tanzania, most houses go after that Greek style, so it's all white. Everything's white. Which makes sense because if you have to repaint it, you can just do a patch, right? But I love color, love, love, love color. So I brought in the professional crews, painted color all over my house. That was another goal come true. And then on the pool deck, our pergola here was coming in, it's crashing in, it's spent its time. So that construction is $5,000. All that wood had to come from another part of Mexico because we have to get termite-proof wood that doesn't rot in the heavy rains from Manzanillo in the summertime. And there I am celebrating my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my husband, celebrating our brand new pergola. And then Mike gets a motorcycle out of the deal. Guys, you like bikes? Right? He's so happy to have his motorcycle. Happy husband, happy wife. And then on December 24th, Santa Claus brought us a present. It's called a little earthquake. And then he brought us 6 more between December 24th and December 31st. 4 people were checking in on January 2nd. This is all just this year. This all just happened. You want to get that phone call about, hey, we're really happy that you're spending your vacation at our resort, but the pool's not working, right? Not a good call to make. But thanks to Partner Co., we brought in a crew that expedited the repair, and only January 14th, we're now having a big pool party. We improved it with lights, and now the pool's back up and running. If we had not repaired the pool, we would have lost our season because we would have had to relocate our guests, pay for that, lose the money, everything, right? It would have brought us in.
Marina was just there. How was it, Marina?
Oh, fabulous. Everybody has to go.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Really, we had so much fun. It was lovely to have her there with us. It was just great. And then they have lifestyle credits. Todd talked about that. Everything we do in this business, whether you refer a new customer, ka-ching, credits. Whether you refer a new brand partner, ka-ching, new credits. Whether you climb up rank from team leader to senior team leader and so on, ka-ching, new credits. And oh yes, when I buy product monthly, ka-ching, credits. And then there's some formula that measures your performance last month and last month and last month to this month and this month. And December 31st, they dump a whole bunch of credits in your little lifestyle account, right? On December 31st, they dumped over 1 million credits into my account. Wow. Like, that's nuts. I'm just doing what I need to do, right? So we're going to Punta Cana. Wow. And I understand next September in Dallas, they're going to announce another trip that I get to go on too, right?
You've already won the birdies, you're just waiting for the announcement.
Wow, holy cow. So I want to take this moment for anyone who has been on a trip or about to go on a trip with partner code, please stand up and be recognized. All right, awesome, awesome. Really, really exciting about that. So the question is, how do you know if these are going to work for you? How will you tell? Did you hear what the people said earlier? They said it all. You'll feel more energy, you'll sleep better, the inches will fall off, you'll be able to buy skinny jeans, you'll have more energy, your depression will lift. There's so many things that will happen. These are products that you feel. I feel like I'm 35 years old. It's amazing. Tammy, where's Tammy? Tammy feels like she's 30 or something, right? We're all aging backwards. It's absolutely amazing. My hair is the longest it's ever been in my life. One hairdresser said you can never have long hair. It's too thin, it's too brittle. And it's just, isn't it amazing to me? It just blows me away. So I'm going to tell you, every single person that you look at eye to eye is going to be able to take off 3 to 5 to 7 to 9 of these serums. Every single one of them, except the 4-year-olds. Any ladies pluck their chin? Are you less plucking or plucking?
That's very less.
I used to get those really wiry, they happen overnight. It's crazy. It's kind of an entertainment, we're really bored, right? But it tells me my hormones are balancing out, my body is balancing out. There's so many little indications that say your body is getting well again. And everybody you meet has this. I'm not saying you need to go out and be a salesman. I'm just saying we need to share this product with the world because there's too many people on medicines that are creating harm. Too many people on medicines they can't afford. Too many people on diets that are totally wrong and toxic for them. And too many people that are missing out on life. Wow. Cindy, this is a lot more than just 20 pounds. That is my new slogan. This is more than just 20 pounds. This is about giving people their lives back, their chance to be with their grandkids, right? Sharon's raising a little toddler, right? You could have energy for that, right? Right, for grandchild. There's so many things that we need to have in life. We've got one kick at the cat, guys. Make it best, right? So these two guys, Darren Zobrist, John Wadsworth, for me, they changed my life. Todd was gracious enough to share the lunch table with me and John Wadsworth when I was in Salt Lake City in January. I went there to get face-to-face with the owners because we've all been on different buses with the wrong drivers. And for me, it was really important that I had a great captain at the helm. John and I talked about the marketing stories with everybody's on the same team. This man is so real, right? Darren, he's made his fortune on Wall Street, Goldman Sachs. He's done an amazing job, actually. Can I tell the Mexico story? Sure, girl. Yeah. Darren was
reaching a certain point of burnout as he was working on Wall Street. And he needed to go and chill, relax. So he went to a little village, and I think it was Ziwatneo. And as he was chilling out, he saw the fishermen working so hard, bringing in the fish, and then he noticed it sell at the market for pennies on the dollar. And his brilliant mind put together a business plan that could get that fish into the international market and pay these fishermen several times more than what they were bringing. And keeping some product for the local market, right? So he approached a group of fishermen, and most of them shunned him because he's the American in town, right? But there was one or two that listened. And it wasn't before long, those one or two were riding the trucks. And then more listened and more listened. And he created an empire for these fishermen families that changed their lives forever. And he ran that company for a while, didn't he? Quite a few years. Yeah. Thousands and thousands of Mexican people's lives were changed because of this man. Now he's retired. John tells him the flight about how these companies, 5 companies that were in financial trouble, that were mismanaged by a corporation. And in my opinion, you never put corporation and network marketing in the same sentence. They have no idea what goes on in the heartbeat of a rep. They're only working toward the shareholders, right? So in any case, all of these companies had amazing, amazing products. Todd is gonna, anyone that wants to hang around later, Todd is going to do a product, right? We're gonna do a product seminar?
Whatever you want.
Okay, the lead product, the milking product, the drops product. Yeah, I love it, you're so amazing. And all of us were #1 clean ingredients created by doctors, backed by science. So Todd, or rather Darren and John, put their shekels together and bought all of these companies worldwide in over 50 countries. Can you imagine the logistics to that one, right? And they created Partner Co. They have won award after award after award after award in the short 2 years he's being called Partner Co. It blows me away. We have the right captain. They have hired who Todd calls stupid smart, and Katie Holt Larson. She's so regrets that she couldn't be standing in front of you tonight. She's the most amazing vice president of all operations that I've ever met in my life. She works harder than anybody I've ever met in corporate. She's 100% committed. We already heard about how amazing Lucy West is. I love her to bits. I hung out with her Thursday morning or Friday morning, and we had so much fun just going to Staples into White Spot and doing all kinds of stuff. She's real, but she's so smart and she's so organized and she's so
In front of Vancouver.
yes, from Vancouver. And she's got such a fabulous vision. So these guys have shared so very much with, or they hired the best of the best. So I'm going to go forward over that. Todd's already spoken about that, but I think we're breaking records left, right, and center. Last time we were the fastest growing network marketing company in history. Woohoo! Who wants to save $40? You know what? If I was giving you a free pen and I hold up 5, I'd have 5 people running trying to trip over themselves to get to those free pens, right? So we got pre-rolling going on to celebrate our Western Road Tour. And I'm going to recommend get yourself a 4-pack and a box of Renew. And again, the Renew is the best of the best. Stand up quick if you love Renew. Woo! All of you that love Renew. You will speak the best, the best, the best, the best. Give yourself a 4-pack and the Renew. And I mean it. Your hair will start growing. Your libido will be stimulated. There's so many great things about this product. So, we have got tomorrow night at the Chateau Victoria, an amazing event with the 3 ladies that couldn't be here tonight. The plane got turned around, as you know. So that's at the Chateau Victoria. If anybody here, guest or rep, who's on my team connected to me, I will pay you gas money, $20 to drive to Victoria, because you need to hear them. You need to hear Dr. Crystal. You put 4 in a car, I'll pay you $80. $20, $20, right? You put 10 in a car, $200, right? Make it worth the trip. It will really be an amazing journey. So in summary, this is where it's at. Are you a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4? Right? Now, the 1 is the person that says, I want to pay top dollar, I want to pay retail. I heard there's some Winnipeg people, Kelly. Where's Kelly? Winnipegs don't pay retail, right? No. Same best deal. And you're gonna want to become a brand partner so you can save some money, so you get it free to get a discount. That's so fun, isn't it? And as a brand partner, you're going to receive your 30% discount off the pricing for your first month. And then you can decide as you go forward what kind of monthly subscription you want to set up to determine whether you get a 30% continued discount or a 15% continued discount. If you choose the 30 and you happen to mention this to somebody who becomes the next Amy Odachano, then the company will start sending you checks. That's kind of the way it goes, isn't it? Okay. So number 3 is the person that wants to get on this health and wealth train and ride. Do I have any 3s in the room? Got some 3s, okay, all right. Who wants to ride a big with me? Do I got a whole bunch? Okay. In closing, if you've ever received a check from this company, please stand up. Wow, yes, look around. The only ones that haven't received a check are you. You stand up, absolutely. Maureen, you qualify for a check. You stand up, you want And that's what this is all about. Now, I want to share a little story. Cheryl, come on here. My dear buddy Cheryl, I've known her for years and years, and we've reconnected, and I'm so happy. That's another big thing. It's a lot more than 20 pounds, because you get to reconnect with friends, right? Okay. And so Cheryl got on the drops. She got a few people into her business, and then she went to Cuba and left me with all her people. She gets back, and I said, Cheryl, how was the trip? Awesome. Cheryl, today's Friday. How much did you get paid today? Well, let's go in your back office and have a look. How much was it, Cheryl? It was almost $600. 600. Yeah. And I got a promotion. I don't know that. Congratulations. Any pensioner, any senior to receive a $500 check, $600 check that week would make a difference. Wow. Like, you know, apples are expensive. I went into that Save-On in Richmond. Holy cow, you people get a lot of money for your cauliflower. Wow. Blown away. I pick up an apple and I go, this apple's going to cost me $3. Yeah. Wow.
Did you try to negotiate
something? Maybe should I think about doing something? I'm going to say you have to do something because you are working so hard. Todd said it yesterday. You're working so hard against an economy that isn't working with you. Right? So hard. You keep going so hard. $1.85 a gallon for a liter in Vancouver. $1.69 here.
Yeah.
Wow.
$1.76 in Port.
$1.76 in Port. You gotta do it. You gotta do it, right? You gotta do it for your health. You gotta do it for survival. And some of you are going to get on this bus and ride it big, like Cheryl, like Shirley. Seniors in the room that see the vision and go, holy, I'm doing this, right? So you can live the dream. You can do it. Chris talked about his life turning around in a very short time. My life turned around, well, I basically got underway the 23rd, but then remember I went to paint my deck for a while. So I put a $10,000 goal for August 31st, and I made that by July 1st. And I went, holy heck, I'm gonna rewrite some of these goals here now that I understand this comp plan. I've never seen such a rich comp plan in my life.
And they can't change, and they
And
can't
it's
just change
locked in with the Bill of Rights, exactly. Todd is on the Founders Club. Can you stand up for a minute and explain the Founders Club, please, Todd?
Yeah, so they can't even make a change in any market of any kind until they bring it. It's actually two different groups. There's a partners council, which Chris and Johnny made on to this year. Like 1 year, they already now, it has to get by Chris and Johnny to change the rule in Canada. And then if they vote on it, then it has to go to the Founders Club, which takes a little longer to get there, but then it has to be signed off on there too. I know about like simple things like changing $37.95 to $39.95. Like that cannot just happen without people knowing. There's so many checks and balances here because both owners want this to be a legacy company. If you're anything about our industry, there's a lot of companies you make money in. But it's finding a needle in a haystack to go build a paycheck. It's a legacy paycheck you're going to leave your kids one day. Most of us leave debt for our kids. You can leave a residual check and set your kids up forever. And you set yourself up forever in retirement. But we don't want to be like you. We don't be traveling the world at 80 without worries.
So you can get the body back that you love. I didn't think there was any hope for my body at the point I was at. When you're over 60 to try and lose weight, forget it, right? Because the other thing I want to say too is I can exercise and walk that beach and go up and down the stairs, but what's going to stop me from buying the ice cream? I still wanted the ice cream. I had no discipline, right? Until the drops came into my mouth. Wow. Who here has ever smoked pot?
We never said now.
Well, who here has ever had a drink of alcohol? I drank a lot of alcohol. Who here has ever had a cigarette? I used to be a chain smoker. And cold turkey, I quit the pot, I quit the cigarettes, and I quit the booze. All different years, of course. But I could not quit the sugar. I could not quit the sugar until I got the drugs. I am sugar-free for 11 months.
And you're not having ice cream every night.
No more ice cream in my house, Wendy. No ice cream allowed on the property. And you know what though? I don't even want it. I have it in my freezer. Someone brought a DQ cake for a party that I had, and it was still in my freezer after 2 months. So who else here has kicked their addiction to sugar? Wow, look at half the room.
Coffee. I'm not a sugar person, but coffee.
Yeah, half the room. That's amazing. So you can have that body you love, you can have a community experience. We have a lot of friends here. We just really gel well together. There's so many teams that work together cohesively, like family, that we're not, clashing because we're not in the same financial lines together. I love that about Partner Co. And the leisure experiences. I was actually in the hotel I never told you this, when we were there in January, and that was when we went to meet the owners. Todd was so gracious to organize it for us. And I was swimming in the pool at this beautiful hotel, and there was a big solarium glass roof, and I saw my reflection that looked exactly like that. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the slide that I use every day. It's like manifestation, it all comes true, right? So we have several different packages. We got the drops and the renew. We've got so many amazing products. We're going to take a short break. Everyone can go to the bathroom and make a decision. Just get a pack. That's it. Get your free membership. It expires on the 27th, so why not get it for free? Put an order attached to it so you activate it, qualified. Because the first thing you're going to want to tell somebody about it, because that's what we do as human beings. We share a good thing, right? And before you know it, you're going to get a paycheck and you're going to call me and say, how did I get this? Like, Maureen, did I get paid? Do I get a check? Yeah, it's good. Debbie, did I get a check? Do I get it? So,
Risha, I don't get a check, it goes right into my account.
Yeah. So we just celebrated what holiday?
St. Patrick's Day in Mexico.
St. Patrick's.
Big part.
Tiny little country. Tiny little country, tiny little island in North Atlantic. What has Ireland given to the world?
Guinness.
Guinness. What else? Potatoes.
Leprechaun.
Leprechauns. Shamrocks.
Rainbows.
Popsicle. Popsicle.
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Bees.
Baileys?
Bees.
Oh, yeah. Irish stew, you name it, it goes on, right? The Kennedys, like it goes on. The Irish jig, the river dance, it goes on. For such a little country, they have made such a vast impression around the world. A vast impression. And the same with you. You can be that Ireland. You can go out and do a vast impression. And there's nothing better when someone like Cheryl calls you up and says, it's now 31 pounds, it's now 31. When someone like Tammy says, you know, I feel so great, I have my energy back. When someone like Sharon says, look at me, I'm in my skinny jeans again, right? There's moment after moment of people sharing those success stories with you. And that's the heartwarmer. You can be that Ireland. Make your decision. If you want to learn more about products to help you decide on your path, 15 minutes. So we'll take a quick 10-minute bathroom break and we'll resume here at 1:45. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Very good. Oh, don't forget, we have prizes, right? We have prizes, so we'll be doing the prizes after the product presentation. Yes. Yeah, I told her about I watched it like she was the first baby. I love Tori. So was the dad. I know right now. Yeah, sure. So,
Okay, everybody wants to get started. Get everybody home. Is Chris not in here? Chris. Okay. So we want to keep this really brief, 15 to 25 minutes. But I'd love to hear a testimony on a product. But if you want to share it, I'll just do like one testimonial per product. Just kind of keep it tight. That way you hear maybe a testimony or two if they stay tight per product. But we're going to start with Renew. This is and most of us are not young in the room. So this is going to be a greatly needed product in the room. And you'll understand why in just a second. It will absolutely elevate the weight loss too, if that is a goal. And you'll understand why in just a second. This is a partner code product. This product launched right as partner code launched. We have 2 international patents on it. What it does through 4 different pathways. I don't have time to go into the science tonight, but through 4 pathways, it helps your own body produce more human growth hormone. One of those pathways is it promotes a deeper sleep. Because we make HGH in our deep REM sleep in our pituitary gland. We generally know what that is. It's your deep sleep. Most of us get anywhere from an hour to 4 hours of it. The more you get of it, the better you're going to feel the next day, just recovery-wise. So a quick positive side effect of this product is people that don't sleep good often sleep way better. It doesn't put you to sleep, promotes a deeper sleep. And for those geeks like me, you got a smartwatch, it tracks your sleep. This is when I became a believer in like 2 weeks. Like all of us saw it happen before our eyes. Like people that had decent REM sleep were increasing 10, 15, 20 minutes. We had some people that were bad sleepers that were getting like 45 minutes to an hour. I've seen increases consistently of as much as an hour and a half to 2 hours on sporadic nights. But there is one caveat. You've got to know this or you'll get caught off guard with it. The caveat is one of the ingredients in it is a form of vitamin B. There's a number of different B vitamins. This particular B3 vitamin is called niacin. And about 10% of the population, generally women, are really sensitive to it. If you are that woman, the Renew's gonna work backwards with you. It's gonna actually keep you from sleeping as good. So if you do take it and you feel like your sleep is not as good, give it a night or two. Just move it up earlier in the afternoon. It'll still work. It's optimal to take before you go to bed, but just move it up early in the day until you don't notice it anymore. And then the last thing I'm going to say, with all of our products minus the minerals, you never want to overdose on a mineral. All of our vitamins are water soluble. All these products are made with real food. There's no such thing as taking too much of the real food, like the superfood drinks, things like that. So on a lot of things, I will mention super dosing, but I will tell you one of my favorite doctors. He wasn't part of the company. He was just in my business. He was one of the top internists in the state I live in, and his wife was the top infectious disease specialist in the state of Florida. But he taught me really early on that in the medical world, all prescriptions are based on age and weight. But with nutrition, since there's not a doctor giving a prescription, there just has to be something generic on the box. Here's how he said it in simple terms. He said, there's no way a woman that weighs 140 pounds can take something, and a man that weighs 250 pounds take the same thing, the same dosage to get the same effect. It's just not happening. So we have found with this product, especially men, that if you want to really like promote the effects, I do 2 every day. A lot of our athletes do 1 in the morning and 1 at night. They'll do it either like post-workout and then before they go to bed. So here's what it does. If you don't, and some of you will know, some of you won't. But HGH, let me mention this last thing here. So HGH in the medical world is known as the longevity hormone. And the reason it's known as that, basically the fountain of youth. And the reason it's known as that is because it has to be present for all cellular regeneration to occur. So if you don't know this about your body, you have a new set of skin every 90 days. Your whole body, minus an organ or two, rebuilds basically every 2 years. The higher the HGH, the better the rebuild. This is the natural decline. So if you're just a normal person going through life, oh shit, by the time you hit 65, by the time you hit 65 years old, you're now aging 125 times faster than you were 12-year-old. That's the reason when you see your grandparents, they do really good up until about 70-ish. Then there's sometimes they fall off the cliff in that between 70 and 80. But there are things you can do to not decline like this through life without eating this product. Don't eat sugar. Don't drink very much alcohol. Don't be sedentary. By the way, let me tell you how to speed decline up. Eat lots of sugar, drink every day, don't exercise, and have really bad sleeping patterns, and you'll be much cheaper. If you don't want it to do that, do the opposite. If you Google all this, it's not my science, it's just science. High intensity exercise and good sleeping are the 2 natural ways to do this, and then don't do the things to do it. But this, we have 2 patents on it, that makes it even elevate greater. So if you can elevate it and you're a woman, if you don't know a guy, this guy's named Dr. Stephen Colbert. If you're in the hormonal phase of life, just know there's a book out there called The Hormone Zone by Dr. Stephen Colbert. Get it on Amazon. He has an entire chapter devoted to women. And what he says in that entire chapter devoted to HGH, all about women, hormones. What he says is if you can rise your HGH to optimal levels, in return, it will help optimize your progesterone and estrogen. So really good. It's about the drops will work almost in a week for some women. But this is about a 3 or 4 month plan on this one. My wife, she had like the normal night sweats, all those kind of things. The drops really help. And she's always not been that big, but she got down to like 135, normal weight, really trying to lose anymore. But she got on this really only because I did. And she didn't even like it at the beginning. I told her, just keep taking it, you need it. And she did. And about 3 months in, she noticed that her morning clarity was coming back. She started feeling better. And by the 4th month, about every week, she would say, I lost a pound. That kept going, and she went from 135 to 118, and nothing else changed. So I watched it with my own eyes, what I teach out here happened in my own house. Okay, all better and by the way, it was a different meeting I did, but a couple told me that they were losing their lean muscle mass as they've gotten into their 60s. So it will really help body composition. It'll promote maintaining. It'll, like, if you do some resistance exercises, your growth will just be better. But then all the other stuff gets better, like better everything. They said yesterday, I didn't say this, they said this, we're a little bit more conservative than y'all are down in the South, but somebody called it the baby maker, because it does increase libido. And it's something that says, I don't want no babies. But it does, you hear that all the time. And then for men, same exact thing, it'll just make you more of a man. It is absolutely a product that I will not go without. I will tell you, if anybody sees me on this trip, they'll know I'm taking 1 in the morning, and I'll sometimes do 3 a day on a trip just to keep my energy levels up.
And the one thing with that product is your sleep. It's like my sleep with the drops got better because I was up at 2 in the morning brainless. When I added the Renew, I slept off. I mean, I'd get up and go pee 5 times, but it was like you were going in your sleep.
Yeah.
You would instantly go back to sleep. When you wake up fresh, not tired.
No, there's no required amount of water, so just enough to mix it up, that we don't have to get up and use the restroom. Give me one more short testimony, anybody wants to go ahead.
So I fractured my neck and chipped 3 vertebrae, and post-pandemic, didn't know what was going on. My whole neck seized. I couldn't shoulder trek anymore. Tons of pain, and going to massage weekly, chiro every 2 weeks, acupuncture, Reiki, everything to try and relieve it. I started Renew. Within 3 weeks, I saw my massage therapist. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I don't know. I'm not doing anything." I don't know. So you're doing something. What is it? And it was Renew I was taking. And so I have full range of motion now.
Wow.
No pain. I still have 3 chipped vertebrae, but able to function. So yeah.
You can still go down water slides.
I still jump on my trampoline every day. You know, that's like, yeah, life's path. So it's huge. Renew is great.
Okay, next product is another one that this was my favorite up until Renew launched. Now they're equal favorites. It is called MOA, it stands for Mother of All, because it's 36 of the world's best superfoods sourced from like 17 different countries, all in a little liquid pouch. It is spicy, it does not have sugar. Like, if you're taste sensitive, you won't like it, get over it. My youngest told me when he was like 13, he's like, "Dad, why is everything so good for you taste so bad, and everything so bad for you taste so good?" I'm like, "I don't know, just wait a minute." Just keep that in mind, but it will grow on you. This is a product, I promise you, that if you take it every day for a week, no matter how much you hate it, you will not be able to do without it after a week. It is the most amazing thing.
Tim Andres has a testimonial. Tim, do you mind sharing? Stand up and share your testimonial.
Well, I've worked physically all my life, and I was getting pretty sore. And one place was my right hip, and when I would stand up, I would hobble for about 20 steps. And I started taking MOA, and I was walking downstairs once on our kitchen and dining room was upstairs. And I said to Dawn, my hip, I didn't even think about it. It didn't hurt. And so then I would every once in a while feel something, and now I don't feel anything. Yeah, and that was a chronic thing that went on for several years. Wow.
Do your own research. 11 of these superfoods have clinical research showing their ability to reduce inflammation in the body. Tremendous cellular nutrition, tremendous immune support. Besides those 11, those superfoods, it's also got 6 medicinal mushrooms. Again, throw them in the search engine, your medical literature. These mushrooms are traced around the world. People are always on planes from our country into Mexico to find these mushrooms because there is so much overwhelming science on their ability to slow down and potentially stop cancer cell splitting. But lion's mane has found its way into the athletic performance world and the inflammation world. They're crazy good. And so between the mushrooms and the superfoods, the number one thing that occurs is reduction of inflammation and recovery. So the guy on the left is the starter for the Kansas City Chiefs, and the guy on the right is the defensive end of the Philadelphia Eagles, the 2 teams that played in the Super Bowl down in the States this year. The guy on the left, the Kansas City Chiefs guy's been on it since the 8th grade. All the guys in the middle of college. The girl on the top was the #1 CrossFit girl in the Southern United States. But she was only like number 5 or something when she found MOA. And she said it was really simple. She could work out hard. because before she couldn't get recovered before the next workout. So recovery, unbelievable. He owns the gym where I live at. He won Mr. Florida after getting on it. He's 54 in the picture. That girl's in the UK, and she won the gold medal in gymnastics after getting on it. That's the same guys as before. Professional baseball player. All right, that's the athletes. Now for the rest of us. It doesn't matter what it is. Rheumatoid, arthritis, eczema, psoriasis, carpal tunnel, aches and pains, aging, injuries. If there's inflammation involved, that's the pain. Like this doesn't fix the problem. It's not going to fix her vertebrae, but it's going to reduce inflammation, which is your pain centers. It's just going to feel better. I will tell everybody that has serious pain going on, you need to do this 2 to 3 to 4 times a day at the beginning till you feel the pain coming down, and then you can maintain it. So this couple were full-blown type 2 diabetics. They got on skinny drops and MOA, and this was Linda's ankles in 2 weeks. How's the reduction? They dropped over 100 pounds apiece and came up with 38 prescriptions combined in a course of about 1.5 years on the products. I've got 10,000 of these ankles. You're going to see several more. This was a plantar fasciitis surgery gone bad. 6 months post-surgery, 30 days after she got on MOA. This is rheumatoid arthritis. Her son was a football coach who lost 100 pounds. He wasn't even working the business. You just overheard somebody talking about MOA helping with rheumatoid. And he tells me one day, he said, Tom, my mom hadn't left the house in 2 years. She got rheumatoid. She said she lives in our front yard. She'd never come to our house in 2 years. I have to go see her down there. She'd never seen her grandkids play football. Well, I zoomed in with her. That was the Zoom. And when I told her, I said, Miss Linda, I said, I don't think 1 a day will help. You're going to need to buy at least enough to take 3 a day. You're going to have to give it a minute. I said, and I can't promise anything because we really got off. But I told AJ, I said, find the inflammation and take some pictures in case it works. So he took the picture of the thighs, and that was 20 days later. I screenshotted that on Zoom because inflammation is hard to catch. I just screenshotted, not knowing what would occur. But then I met her in person 4 months later, and she did air squats in front of the room that day.
Wow.
I got 1,000 of those, by the way. Sprained ankle, 3 before they went to bed, and the next morning.
Wow.
I got a couple of testimonials on MOA. Quick.
I've been taking MOA for pretty few months now, but I wasn't taking it every day. I was kind of taking it sporadically. So I started taking it every day about 3 weeks ago. And I went to my physio last week for the first time in a month. And he adjusted my neck like there was nothing wrong with it. He kind of went, wow. We were trying to get that left side cracked for 2 years. And it wouldn't go. It would never go, right? The right side would go a little, but the left side would never go. And he's like, what are you taking? Wow. So I told this that people who's moving this is what I'm taking. So yeah, it's helped so much. I've had chronic pain for the last 10, 15 years.
I need one more. Anybody get one more?
Right.
Go ahead.
I've only been taking more for just over a week, and I've got Parkinson's dystonia, my neck, my muscles that twitch, and it hurts. It's painful. It's reduced it probably by about 50% already. I had an injury in my leg. I wore a brace up to my knee. I have pain every night. I've been putting on THC and CBD to take the pain away every night, and for the last 15 years. And 3 days ago, I didn't put it on, and I didn't have any.
Wow. That MOA, like everybody has their favorite. Just because it's my favorite doesn't mean it's going to be your favorite. But MOA by far, I hear, like the weight loss is obvious. But the stories I hear traveling with MOA blow my mind.
Yeah.
What y'all heard in the room, don't even touch what I hear. Town to town to town. All right, sugar stuff I mentioned earlier. This is the fiber. I would always have a bottle on hand just in case you have the urge to have a birthday cake at your kid's birthday party. But I do not give you permission to cheat if you're in business and changing your life.
Great to have when you go traveling on holidays.
Yeah. So there's 2 things I'm going to highly suggest in combination. And I'll just say it like it is. Remember, I've got my master's in nutrition, so I'm going to talk to you like as a patient to nutritionists. Women notoriously don't go to the restroom enough. You need fiber. You need lots of it. Great to get it from fibers, vegetables, and fruits, but if you're not getting enough of that, add this to your diet, it will help. The other thing you need is that probiotic I mentioned in the first thing. That probiotic will make you move. It is, I would suggest 2 a day. If it doesn't, one doesn't do it, but one will probably do it. So Kim Gray, the ones that some of you got to see earlier, that she had her digestive system, her large intestines were paralyzed plus 90%. And the UAB Medical Center, which is one of our big medical centers, told her that she needed a colostomy for her husband would let her do it. And she just kept holding it off. And when Dr. Pena came to the company, he was told about Kim and called her and sent her a case. Told her to take 2 a day. By the way, me, I had one last thing. She would have to go be admitted to the hospital once a month, and they would put the strongest laxative in her to make her go. Sometimes not go for 2 weeks at a time. And since she started the probiotic, here's the way she said it. A lot of you got to hear her speak today. You'll learn like what I mean by this. And she says, I don't go to the hospital like y'all, but I don't have to go to the hospital to go no more.
That was so cool talking to you.
The Advantage is a great addition to the drops. And here's what's in it. So the Grains of Paradise was a new product to me. Dr. Crystal will train on it tomorrow night. She's done her research on it. And what it is, it's a form of ginger out of Africa. But what it does is it speeds up your resting metabolism. I don't like when we say 10x. I'm very upfront about that. I think Mark can put that on there without. So I think everybody will be a little different. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I can't promise you're going to burn 10 times more calories sitting down. That's a stretch. What I will tell you is you're going to burn more than you would have. Okay, whatever that is for your body, because we're all very different. Our metabolisms are uniquely different depending on what we've done or not done to our bodies. But the rest of it is going to be accurate across the board. These ingredients are going to help you burn more fat, and they're going to keep your appetite really suppressed. And it is a light energy boost. And I'll just tell you, I brought some up back before it actually launched because I was on a clinical trial with it. And I gave it to the girls over in Alberta that I came up for. And I didn't have a bottle to give them. I didn't have 2 bottles myself. I just gave them enough for a week to take 1 a day. And when they ran out, they blew my phone up. Like, get us on the trial. We can't live without it. They said it just gave them like real mental focus and clarity. I've heard others say it didn't. So like, I'm still learning this product. I'm always up front. That way you'll always trust me. I've gotten mixed reviews, but I would say 80% of people that are taking are really feeling effect on suppressed appetite and a little bit more energy and clarity. Some get crazy effects from it, like the girls over in Alberta did.
And inches lost.
Noni, which I think is one of
My favorites.
Yeah.
why?
Well, you want to talk about the product and
Okay.
I'll give you my testimony.
Noni is the #1 superfood in the world, hands down. There is no competition. Do your own research. The amount of published medical studies is in the thousands. It has been shown medically to help stabilize blood sugar, to promote healing. All that's wonderful. Here's what I know. I've now been to Tahiti for free twice with the company. I want you to go to Tahiti for free. It is the best vacation I've ever been on. I've been on a lot. But that is going back into time. It is freaking amazing. Last time I went, we ended up staying for a full month because I liked it so much the first time. I just extended this time. But I got to know a lot of the locals because this stuff grows on the islands everywhere over there. And I've got a lot of this on video. But I would film them. And it's a French-speaking island, so it's kind of broken English. But they're like over there, they've been using it for thousands of years. This is their medication. But what they say is really good for the digestive system, really good for the cardiovascular system. But the #1 reason they use it is its healing properties. So post-surgery, post-sickness, post anything hurt, this is going to speed up recovery. Now, I have seen this with my own eyes the last 2 years since I've had access to it. It is unbelievable what I've seen it do for people on the healing side. I will not go without it. The reason I don't go without it is the other huge thing it does is it boosts your immune system tremendously. I will just tell you, in the last 5 years, I have been sick only twice. It's been in the last 2 years I've been sick. And that was the 2 times I went on a trip and I forgot to take my Noni with me. Like, I will not do that anymore. So we got the bottles, but now we also have, can we get the travel packets up here yet?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you got the travel packets and the bottles. And Noni is on the ground here. It does not come from the US, it is y'all's. So that is one on the ground product already. Here.
The bottles we do through Canada The packets go through NFR.
Great, tell me that. That makes it very complicated. So, so just know, this is one training that you're new. I would never put a product order on the same order that's coming from the US and Canada, because it messes them up a bit. So like, if you want the boxes to travel with, do it on an order to get an NFR coming across the border. If you're gonna do the bottles, I would always do the bottles, it's more for cheaper, unless you just want it to travel with. Banali is one of the,
No.
oh, I'm so sorry, Risha, I'm so sorry.
Now I'm gonna say.
So I had serious conscious fasciitis right in the beginning. And I told my second product was NOAA, and on the third paycheck, my third product was NOAA, right? And I can't identify which was which, but together, I had no more pain in 6 weeks. It was completely gone. And I wear flip-flops, not really the best of footwear, so to speak, right? But also another, I'm always healthy now. I'm always super healthy. And I live in the FOP zone. You know what that is? Fresh off the plane. People are constantly coming up into Manzanita with their bugs and their viruses and their colds and their flus and their bronchitis, right? I've got none of that. People coming in. But also there was a little bit of a tickle just before I was leaving for Orlando. And I thought, what am I gonna do? So I power dosed 4 shots in a tequila glass, 4 shots of the Noni. And I got on that plane super healthy, had an amazing vacation at the conference in Orlando, continued on for another week, never got sick. So I feel like it's the soldiers, the armor that completely protect your body. I wouldn't be without it. It's that critical to your immune system, to having that soldiers and armor. Any other testimonials on the Noni?
Yeah.
Donna.
Tim and I have traveled quite a bit from November until now, and we take Noni every single day, traveling with the travel pack. And we take the bottle, and we do not get sick. Everybody that comes back from their summer or winter holidays, oh, I got, we have not had that.
Yeah, same here. I have grandkids over all the time, and they're always sick and getting something, and, yeah. Our whole staff is sick.
In my opinion, the people that get on the Noni, the MOA, they're gonna be forever customers. The drops are gonna come and go in people's lives, because you're not always on diet or a program. Unless you're a woman and it's make you feel way better, like those are the women that don't call. Some of these other products, somebody stays on for 2 months, it's a customer for the next 20 years, they're not gonna take it. Okay, because I know it's getting late, we give these last 2 products. All right, so this is a detox. In my opinion, it's the best detox that exists on planet Earth. If you are into nutrition, it's going to have all your detox ingredients that you love, the spirulina, the urea, all of that good stuff is in there, the chia seeds. But we have a patented ingredient there, and it's called zeolite. Zeolite in itself is not patented. Our zeolite comes from Pacific volcanic ash in the country of Austria, not Australia, Austria. If you dig deep enough on Google, they're allowed to make some medical claims over there we can't hear, and you will be blown away. But I will tell you, it will absolutely jerk the toxicity out of your body. The heavy metals, all the different things you stored up in your body, the old prescription drugs that are stored in fat cells. It is a plateau breaker in the weight loss journey like no tomorrow. The people in Europe will generally start somebody on this before they start them on the drops. The reason for it is, according to them, I repeat what they say, not what I say about them. But in Europe, they smoke and drink quite a bit more than we do in America. And a lot of the European group is a younger crowd, and they don't want to give it up. So that's how they sell this. Keep on drinking and smoking, and drink this every day. Jokes aside, that the only safe place in our body for a toxin to store is a fat cell. And when you start burning your fat, the body has to deal with the toxins we get in your bloodstream. It's going to immediately throw it to the liver. It's going to store in a fatty liver cell and try to get right back into a fat cell somewhere else. And in the weight loss journey, if you're not drinking enough, like you've got to drink your water. The number one thing you got to do with this program. Half your body weight in ounces. If you're a man, I drink a gallon a day. If you're Kim Gray, I made her drink a gallon a day. I made her take pictures all day long of her jug going down because she ain't smarter. Drink it. If you don't get the toxins out, you're going to plateau. It's hard to sweat in Canada, I've discovered. But find you a sauna and sweat, because we only get rid of toxins 3 ways. Deep breathing, YouTube deep breathing for getting rid of toxins. We get rid of them through our sweat pores. That's the number 1 way everybody likes to get rid of them. And we get it through, obviously, through urination and defecation. And this will help that process like tenfold it. If you're really toxic, you can do it several months in a row. But the general is a month on, a couple months off, a month again. But it is the number 1 thing we get people on to break plateaus. And Carmen, I think you've seen this on your team already, that the ones that get on this break through their plateaus. I heard her training on that earlier today. Does anybody want to share one quick testimony on it? Okay.
It tastes awful. It tastes like frog water.
People say it tastes awful, but I don't think
It has no taste. Here's how you make it not taste awful. It does not have flavor, but it is gritty. It's activated charcoal. It's zeolite, volcanic ash. So you cannot stir it or you're going to be drinking rock. Okay? You must put it in, you cannot do it in plastic either. It'll leach the plastic. You got to do it in like a mason jar or some type of really hard plastic at the top. It must be shaken. If you shake it, it has no taste.
You can't use a metal spoon because.
Don't want to use a metal spoon.
Metals.
Yeah. Like the best thing to do is like a bottle, like a glass bottle with a top on it. Shake it up really good, or a frother. Get like those $10 frothers off Amazon.
I just went to the dollar store and they have glass bottle with the top that pops on with the metal piece of the metal on the outside. Shake it, works perfect. I think it costs $2.
And you only use like 4 to 6 ounces of water. Like you don't
Yeah,
put a lot of water.
it's like a mini pot on it.
Yeah.
I put blueberries and strawberries in the blender and create a fresh fruit juice, and I add the fresh fruit juice. And that's how I take it. It's delicious.
Okay. I'm not training on these. Over there. If you don't get enough greens in your diet, this is 2.5 pounds of like 26 different greens and vegetables, nuts, seeds, enzymes, probiotics, all in one. And it doesn't taste that bad. They flavored it with cinnamon. But if you don't like the taste, put it in a shake or something, mix it with other things. By the way, I don't think I have a slide, but this is a vegan-based, not protein shake, it's a meal replacement shake. Find mineral with a really easy, quick way. Let me warn you, the number one, like, how old are you?
Me?
No, how old are you?
42.
42. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't mean like, so like, when a 30 to 45-year-old woman calls me that can't lose weight, she only has 10 or 15 pounds to lose, she's hyper knowledgeable. You know what? It's almost 100% of the time it's people losing weight. They're buying a protein shake from a store. It's got maltodextrin in it, a synthetic sugar. You know, it's like the second ingredient spiking their blood sugar in the morning time. Or they're putting some fruit in there. That fruit is really good for you. But I always say eating healthy and losing weight is not aligned. A banana has more sugar than a Snickers bar. So if you're in the weight loss journey, you might as well just have a Snickers bar. So that's what I find almost 100% of the time with the women that are serious about losing weight, already knowledgeable, and can't do it. It's something really little you're not paying attention to. If you don't believe me, go Google maltodextrin. It will make you sick to your stomach. And then go look at all the things in your pantry that has it in it. It's a killer. Last product I'm going to train on. This is the #1 product for women in the room. You need this desperately. I always tell women, if you don't buy anything else, you must buy this. It's got 4 ingredients. It's got magnesium. Let's cover that first. Why do you need magnesium? Men and women need it desperately. I take 4 every night. I will never go without it. It is magnesium. If your legs ever cramp, like lack of magnesium is not the cause of the headache, but it will trigger your headache or your migraine if you're low on it. Dehydration and low magnesium. If you fix those 2 issues, you solve 95% of the headaches in the world. It's skeletal muscle, heart stuff, and take it at night because magnesium relaxes you. It'll help you sleep better. But do your own research. It's crazy. And our doctors told me this like years ago before I ever started sitting. But all the really good doctors I follow are now saying this everywhere. You need to do all 4 of these. You need to do all 4 of these ingredients together. That is magnesium, calcium, D3, K2. They're very important in combination. Go do your own research. Y'all know women need calcium, protect your bones. D3 And you guys do not get enough of it here. I've figured that out in the 5 minute video. So, and I did not bring this on the trip. I felt that so much. But D3, go research behind me. It's the #1 supplement in the world that is 100% aligned through all research showing it promotes longevity. You don't want to get sick, have all those things, you need optimal D3 levels. You never want that to be low.
Would a person have to add D to that, being around here where the sun's a little bit?
Say that one more time. I would, if I lived in Vancouver, I'd take 4 or 5 a day.
I take 4 every day.
So 4 is the dosage. So, but you do, like, this is not one you superdose. Remember what I told you earlier, you can't superdose minerals. Calcium and magnesium are minerals, so don't overdo those. But if you're a bigger person, 6 to 4 is the general dosage. So you get 6 on a smaller lady, I would stick with 4. My wife will not go a day without that because she's one of those that gets migraines if things can trigger it.
Did you miss finale?
Yes, I'm sorry. I will tell you about finale, and that'll be the last one.
Can you do Elite and Vanilla, please?
Which one, Elite?
Yeah, leave it right now. You can get.
If you're a woman, omega-3 and CoQ10 in combination, really inexpensive, but omega-3's got so much research protecting the brain, you name it. There it is. All right, Benali. We get our grapeseed extract in this from vineyards in Italy that test for 600 pesticides and are known for the most antioxidant and all the different things in there of any vineyards in the world. It also has a really high level of vitamin C. You can take the whole bottle at one time here, because vitamin C is the largest soluble vitamin. Repeat that. Can overdose. And you must superdose this for these reasons. One, it will help tremendously with like allergy, sinuses, things like that. We get crazy stories on it, but you need 6 a day, 2 days of doses just regularly. Anything pulmonary, so like post-COVID, post-pneumonia, asthma, things like that, when the lungs are not like feeling like they're working right, this is I cannot tell you how many. My best friend in this industry had been on an inhaler since he was a kid. He's 70 now. And when he got on this product, in 3 months, he quit using his inhaler. It's been like 5 years ago. Great product. Also preventative. I always say an ounce of prevention is worth more than 10 gallons of cure. You don't want to begin your health journey when the doctor tells you something bad. It's like an uphill battle. Great for boosting the immune system. Like if you get down with the flu or cold, it might shorten it a little bit, but it's a little too late. But it will help with like normal sinuses and allergies very quickly.
Isn't it also known as the beauty pill?
Yes, so there's 2 more things with it. If you're losing lots of weight, it really helps draw the skin up. So to keep it, like if you're losing 150 pounds, it may not be perfect, but it's going to be way better than it was. But like 50 to 70 pound range, we get them all the time. They don't have any flabby skin or nothing. So they need a super dose along the way.
And this is available under the Canadian flag. Yeah.
Oh, it is. This is on the ground. Yay. Another on the ground product. Yeah, and by the way, our vitamin mineral that I mentioned earlier is one of the best in the world. That will be on the ground here. So vitamin mineral and vanilla. In the US, we have that as an auto ship pack. Down there, it's like 150-ish. So up here, it's going to be around 200-ish. And it's a great combination if you really want to take care of your health. It's a great combo. The last product, I don't have a slide for it, but I know it very well. So if you're a woman and you get on our red dropper, it's got ashwagandha, rose hips, rhodiola, all play huge roles with anxiety and depression and limiting cortisol secretion. You're going to notice it if you deal with those things. But if you do have a lot of anxiety and or depression in your life, this is a miracle. We don't have time for your story. So give it to us in like 15 seconds.
Sure.
And then I'll tell what happened.
Okay, so when I started, I didn't start on the drops first. I started on the leaf because I wanted to sleep, and a friend told me to help her sleep. I was very depressed. I was in a very dark place. She gave me 7 to try, and I tried the 7 within 3 days. That started to lift. By the end of the month, I was smiling and happy again. It was amazing.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell our husband's version of it that he shared with us in the 30-minute long version. We had time. The short version is It got so bad he left out on the road trucking and didn't come home. And when he came home and she'd been on this, his wife was coming back. And then a couple months on it, she was back. And now they're newlyweds again. Yep, quite the miracle here. And that- I drink like 3 a day because it makes water taste really good. It's really good. And I don't really get much stress or anxiety because I don't have any worries. Because I just hang out helping people and eat dinner and meet new friends all the time. I got some big problems every now and then. My wife's mad at me half the time, like all the stuff. Say it again. But the elite here is, by the way, I didn't mean that negative about my wife. I'm just talking like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, take that in context. I'll get too short for playing that the wrong way. I did not mean that in a bad way at all. I'm just saying I have the normal life pressures we've all. Okay. All right. So it's got like 11 adaptive herbs in it. I'm not going to go in, I'm not trying to all, but I'll tell you the big one is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is huge in the Eastern world. It is called the mood food. It solves like 90% of their issues over in India and different places. There's way more in this than there is in that red bottle of drops. So like if you're in corporate America, high stress jobs, high stress things going wrong at the house, like drink it, you'll see the difference. Drink it, and it actually works when it occurs. Like all of a sudden you walk into high stress, drink it. It'll lower everything down a little bit and help you deal with it. Anybody want to mention one more story, then we'll close out tonight? Anybody else with a elite story? Elite used to be on the ground here, but it's not right now, is it?
No, we ordered it.
Yeah, so we inherited this product from another company. We actually bought they bought the company, and it had that maltodextrin in it when we bought it, and our doctors wouldn't allow us. They had to reformulate it to take the maltodextrin out, and when they took the maltodextrin out, they have to go, oh, we're freaking back. You take the ingredient that's bad for you out, it's got to take 8 months to get back through the health cannon to get back into y'all. That's the only thing that changed it. They just took that out and flavored it a different way. So it really helps. Like that's the bad thing about the nutrition industry nobody knows about. Go pick up a protein shake you walk to the nutrition store. The second, sometimes even the first ingredient is maltodextrin. You don't know how that works. Whatever is the most in the bottle is the first ingredient. So like that means half the bottle is synthetic sugar from China. So I'll end with this story. This will blow your mind. I signed up a guy in Richmond, Virginia. Nabisco. That's like Triscuits, half of that stuff is sold as health foods. Okay, when he went to work there, we call him Money Man. He's a real funny guy. He's retired now. But he told me that when he went to work there, he started noticing that like half the workers were insulin pumps. Half of them. And he said the reason they do is because they all get it for free, home and at work. So they don't have to spend money. They just get it, take it home. See, a wheat thin is really more sugar a lot of times than like a Snickers bar. Like you look at it, a simple carb converts to the same sugar, ends up at the same glucose, except it's maltodextrin. Nabisco ships in 11 million pounds of maltodextrin a day in Richmond, Virginia. So in that front of that box tells you reduced fat, healthy for you, heart health, whatever it says. Flip it over and read the ingredients and remember the story I just told you. And get that crap out of your pantry and start it with the approved food list. Thank you, Risha. Y'all are amazing.